too used to be deathly afraid of tractors. Do I look trippy? My eyes, look at my eyes. So today I'm hanging out with my dad. So we're in Newlands. Top of the morning to you, fine souls. So welcome to June. It is the 12th of June. It's been Juning. I was woe-man down with whatever strain of flu is doing the bouts these days. I'm still working it out of my system, but I'm able to walk now, which is lacquer. So yeah, Kira's lead. Okay. Kira's lead walking has progressed a lot, and she's definitely nuzzled her way into our lives and our hearts. It's very cool having a dog. I've always been a dog person, and I haven't had a dog since Anubis, my rescue pup, who was like 13 at the time that I rescued him. He passed in 2021. And I haven't had a dog since then, and I just feel like a part of my soul has like come back to life since I've got a canine companion again. It's really awesome, and it's cool because I've never had a puppy before. Like when I was a kid we had puppies, but it wasn't like my responsibility because I was a puppy. Yeah, and it's cool as an adult to like be actually training her and disciplining and caring and like properly like taking care for this little life form that is busy developing under my care and my stewardship. It's really sweet. So yeah, anyway, that's June so far. Not a hell of a lot has happened. I haven't vlogged much. I vlogged a fuck ton last month. Still busy editing that vlog. But yeah, we're headed to Cape Town end of next week, and I think a lot of the more interesting, cool vloggy stuff will happen on that trip. So I'm not really, not too much interesting stuff has been happening lately, just daily going ons of life. But yeah, cool, blessings, lekker, have a cool vlog. There's ostriches over there. I think I scared them away with my obnoxious laughter. Who's Trojaz? Hello. Oh no, bye. They're running away. Maybe they're just running laps. It kind of seems like they're just running laps. Gotta get the steps in. Oh, I think they're just running laps. What you doing, guys? Oh, they're trying to find a way over or through the fence, maybe? I mean, they do have this whole camp, so it's not like they're too restricted. I'm not sure. Yeah, it definitely looks like they're trying to get over the fence. Anyway, oh, back up the fence. Look at this G. She's waiting for me, so she just sits and waits. She's waiting in her impatient stance, but she is waiting. Good puppy. Okay, come on, let's go. See the blessed bug. What's that, baby? Hey, what are they doing? Tractor. Carol was a little bit scared of it. Hey, you were so brave. Okay, come on. We're almost there. We shouldn't touch the tree. Here we go. Cows. So cute. So funny how they're living behind a fence and they're gonna be eaten, and she's just out here living her best life. Hey, can you? Oh, excuse you. Can you lighten up? Sit nicely. Nicely. Take it nicely. Nicely. I too used to be deathly afraid of tractors as a baby. I remember the cows are just staring at me. All of them, from every angle. I remember growing up in Fishhook, they always used to tractor the beaches for some reason. I don't know whether they were picking up the seaweed or what the tractors were for, because we didn't have shark nets in those days, but they had tractors on the beach. And I remember as a toddler being deathly afraid of these huge, loud, monstrous things, and it actually made me scared of the beach. Luckily I've outgrown my fear of tractors and beaches, but yeah, I was just passing that tractor now and Kira was quite scared of it, and it made me remember how I used to be really scared of tractors, and it was just making me think how it's interesting how we grow up in life and things that used to scare us don't scare us anymore. Once we're bigger, those things seem smaller, and yeah, the overwhelming noisiness, the largeness, the motion of it, metaphorically and literally speaking, is not as overwhelming as it was when we were little puppies. She's got herself all tangled. What's he doing? Come, you can say hello, but be gentle. Be nice. Good morning. Hello. It's okay, it's okay. The cow's just saying hello. Good morning. Good morning. It's okay, it's okay. Oh, okay. It's too scary. Is that scary? Hey, are you hiding? Look at the cow. They're little babies just like you. They're little babies just like you. It's okay. Okay, we won't come closer. It's okay. Good morning. Good morning, little ones. Yeah, shit. Every time I do this walk, my heart aches for these cows. I live in the thick of beef and dairy and pineapple country, and yeah, a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, they were separating the weaners, the baby cows that needed to be weaned from their mothers. They take them and they put them in a separate camp away from their moms. Look at all the horses. Which is like a standard practice in dairy farming, because they need to then start getting the milk for, dairy production, and the weaners are separated, and yeah, it's quite traumatic, because for like a few nights you hear the babies in their camp separated from their mums. No, I mean, you hear the mums actually, they're like screaming. The first time I heard it, I thought a cow was like being murdered or giving birth, and then we realized it was just the mothers were pining for their babies who had been taken away from them, which is pretty standard practice in dairy farming. Some people keep the babies with the moms and they just put those spiky things on their noses to prevent them from being able to get close to their mothers. But generally speaking, like, that's how it works out here, my guys. If you're buying milk in a bottle in a shop, it's because a baby cow was separated from its mum. And yeah, I mean, I know it's all standard practice. I know that the cows then go get slaughtered, and I know they get turned into beef burgers and meat and steaks and all the normal evil fucked up inhumane human things. But it's just, yeah, I struggle, because I live in the country where this is happening. I think the majority of people who consume meat,
25 minutes, 48 seconds.
Sorry, my app keeps updating me. People out here who eat meat and consume dairy products and stuff, like, they're fully aware of the process that goes on. They're farm folk, and they're like, in my mindset, it's almost more ethical, because they're like a part of the process and they're aware of what happens, and they're like accepting the fact that they know what happens and that they're doing it. Whereas like the vast majority of people, it's just a product that they get at the end of the line, and they pay the shops for it, and the shops take huge profits, and the farmers make like barely anything. Meanwhile, they do like 90% of the work, and they do the hard work, they do the hectic work, they do the and then the shops just put it on a shelf and put huge markups on it and get all the profit. But anyway, so I love walking and I love living in the country, but as someone who doesn't partake in the systems of farming on this level, in this regard, it is a bit sad to like be walking my free little free agent Kira, who's just living the best friggin' life of any of her lifetimes, and there's little baby cows and adult cows that are just as intelligent and cute and emotional and feel just as much fear and excitement and joy and love, and they're just separated by this little wire fence that's like 8 strings of wire, and that's what makes the difference. We're on this side and we're free, and they're on that side and they're meat. But that's just those are my thoughts when I walk. There's a lot of beauty and a lot of peace and a lot of serenity and space for creativity out here, which is why I'm here. But then there is also the harsh reality that when you live in the farmland, you cannot feign ignorance to the source of the end of the line products, the end line products. But it's good to be informed and aware and conscious of these things. And I consciously boycott, technically. I mean, that's what veganism is. It's like consciously boycotting animal agriculture. But it's still around me, and I'm still friends with a lot of people who farm cattle and sheep and pigs, and it's just, you can't hate the person for their life choices. But it's hard being someone who cares and feels and really feels for these animals and feels what these animals feel and is aware how much these animals feel and how alive they really are. And just because of like cognitive dissonance and good marketing for hundreds of years and desensitization and dehumanization and detachment and all these psychological things. I mean, what makes a horse any different to a cow? Because it's technically physically more beautiful according to society's standards of beauty. It's like a supermodel. Horses are like supermodel animals, and cows are like average everyday folk animals. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Take them or leave them. I'm gonna head home now. It's my pine alley, Peace Pine Alley. These orchids were still getting their laps in. classic South African adventure. Hurry up and wait. At least the view is good. Where's your ball? Give it to me. Crazy. There's my niece Nova. Hey, what's up? What's up? Hello folks. So we're in the town of the Cape and we've been here for a few days now, just settling in with family and catching up with friends. And now today we're running some errands, and then tomorrow Eddie's starting his job. And yeah, it's been pretty cool, pretty mellow. Yeah, driving here was crazy. We drove through a storm down Solaris and it was like so rainy and so misty. We're in Cape Town. So misty that you couldn't see, like, you literally couldn't see like 5 meters ahead of yourself, and it was obviously nighttime and rainy and misty, and it was really scary actually. We had to take it so slow, and it took us like 14 hours to get here because of all the roadblocks, which was like wee. So yeah, it was a bit of a thing getting here, but we got here safe as always because the guardian angels work very hard. And yeah, now we're just chilling. Plus I'm back like where I grew up, so I'm thinking of doing a bit of a little tour with my dad on one of the days to like all my favorite old spots, because yeah, Cape Town's where my life was until 19. It's where I lived and nearly died, and yeah, a lot happened here. Then I left, then I came back, I met the love of my life, and then we left, and that's been that. I haven't lived in Cape Town since 2019, but yeah, I was there for 19 years of my life. That's a pretty big portion of a 29-year-old journey, so yeah, it's always cool to come home, and it's cool to feel like Cape Town is one of my homes. It's like not where I could live. I need the country, I need the isolation and the solitude and the silence and the stars and the clean air and the nature. But I'm a city kid. I grew up in the city, and it's definitely in me, and I love to come and touch base and be a bit more fast paced. And yeah, cities are so different. Like in the rural like areas of the world where it's sparsely populated, there's like a lot, time is slower because there's not as much happening. The busyness makes time faster. So in the rural areas, time is like slower because there's not busyness. So it's good for creativity. But rural living is good for creativity and for creating things. But the city has its perks of like just being in a thing, like just plugging into a machine and being a cog and going with it. Whereas I find living like in an isolated area, you have to be a self-starter and you have to be a creator, and like you have to create your friend groups and create your social experiences and go on hikes and like create your businesses and create your creations and like I have a lot of vision for wanting to create community projects and engagements and outreaches and all these things in the rural areas because there's not a lot happening. Whereas in the cities, there's a lot happening that you can just plug into. And they both have like pros and cons. Like you can lose yourself in existing systems because you never feel the need, or like you never feel the need to create something new, or you don't feel like it's worth creating something new because there's already so much happening in the cities. So it can be hard to like create your own path or find your own path or whatever in busy environments and like over like very densely populated places where there's a lot of people all the time. And then on the other side, in the rural areas, it can be a bit overwhelming because it feels like you have to, like, if you want something to happen, you have to make it happen. Like, obviously there's stuff happening. There's events and there's restaurants and there's excursions and outings you can do, and there's obviously stuff happening everywhere in the world. But if you're like someone with a different, like a niche interest or whatever, you can kind of find that in the city, whereas in so it was I was saying, whereas in the city it's much easier to plug into things, but because of that you might not find your fully authentic self because you're just kind of always fitting into the machine. But anyway, that's kind of just like a rant of a thought that I've been having about the dichotomy between rural living and city living, and also just like the fact that it doesn't have to be us versus them or one is better than the other. I think that certain times in your life you resonate with certain energies and other times not so much. I'm definitely a country bumpkin. This poo is still warm. But I love visiting the city. I wouldn't want to come live in the city. That would make me upset and depressed. But I love visiting the city knowing that it's just a visit and being a detached little free agent just zooting around the city, like not being, not taking responsibility or becoming energetically entangled with what goes on here. It's very fun to visit, but I wouldn't want to stay. But anyway, we found, oh my gosh, Aiden's been looking for a steering rack for the surf since our first Botswana trip, which was like 2020. He's been looking for a steering rack for the car, and he's just not been able to find it. He's thought he's found it so many times and it just doesn't fit. And he just found it, and he's gonna get it, and it's so exciting because like the first time he looked, it was like 8,000 something, and then over the months and years of looking, but it's never been the right one anyway, but it like seemed like it was gonna be like a 10 grand fix, and now he's found one for like 4,800 rand 4 years later, and it's the right one. So hell yeah. But that's pretty much what's crapping in on this front.
Lose a husband, blows all his wife's money. Like
Dramaticized. Hello. So I'm playing ball with my niece at the park. Where's your ball? Nova, where's your ball? Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Here you go, come. When she gets tired, she just lies down with the ball. Yeah, it was cool. Just been reflecting. What's new? Just want to keep an eye on her. On the past times that I've been here, this is a park near my sister's house, which is who I stay with when I visit Cape Town. And I've been staying here for years and years. Where's your ball? And yeah, most, if not all of the times before now, I was in a really deep state of CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, where my fight or flight is pretty much stimulated 100% of the time. And yeah, since my nervous system's been more regulated, and I really feel like I'm coming out of fight or flight mode, which I really literally lived in for years of my existence. You have to drop it for me to throw it. This dog. Just collecting balls now. You have to let me throw it. You can't fetch it if I don't throw. No take, only throw. I just am realizing that I had been living in fear for a very, very long time, and that was like kind of my perception of reality was like completely fear-based. Like everywhere I went, I was scared of something bad happening, but it was even small stuff. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm scared I'm going to get attacked in the park. It was like, oh my gosh, what if there's other people there and they look at me? That was like equally as terrifying as getting attacked. Jump. No, you want that one? Okay. Nova, no! Nova! She disappeared over the hill into the dirty, salty lake. She came back as a swamp dog. You're naughty and you know it, hey? Yeah, so anyway, sorry, but so much joy. Yeah, exactly. The metaphor I've been pondering is like, the one is like that I'm in a better space than I've ever been before. My general state of being for so many years was just depressed and fear-based and PTSD. Like beyond depression, it was like a state of fearful, heightened depression and defensivity, because I literally was like expecting a bomb to go off any minute, all the time, 100% of the time. And now that I am more regulated and more stable, I don't perceive every other human being as a threat. I don't perceive every moment as a threat. Like literally just being in this park was a fearful experience for me in the past, just because of the unknown, because not knowing who might show up, not knowing if there may be other dogs that have conflict with my niece, or if people might just be rude or judgmental, or just having to have an awkward social encounter. Like these kinds of things were like death-defyingly frightening for me in the past, and they're just not anymore. And it's not like it happened overnight. It's been a lot of self-work and a lot of hard experiences and a lot of awkward experiences and a lot of scary experiences for my consciousness to develop to the point of realizing that I'm not going to die from a social perceived threat or experience or encounter. But the metaphor that I really want to talk on is of a puppy. She's not a puppy anymore. She's got a few years on her, but she's still got very much puppy energy. And we adopted Kira last month, our puppy, and she is a puppy. And every morning she wakes up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, like beyond excited, 100% balls to the walls, ready to live her fucking life. Because, do you want to throw again? Because she's there. Because she's so happy, you know, to be in a home where she's so loved, and hello, hi sweetie, hello friend, and she's like ready to go, and she's super stoked on life. And why shouldn't she be? You know, she's loved, she's well fed, she gets played with every day. She's got 3 other dog friends that she gets to wake up with and play with all day, every day. She goes on awesome adventures on the walks and runs that we take her on. She's just living the life, you know. So she wakes up super stoked and super happy because she's a puppy and her life is amazing. And waking up to her excitement every morning has been a stark contrast to the lethargy or the tiredness or the grumpiness that I find myself sometimes waking up in, which is, you know, normal and understandable for an adult. Not everyone's a morning person, and we're not all stoked we don't jump out of bed like spring chickens anymore. But yeah, it's just it was like metaphoric for me to see her excitement for life, and to see like how untainted her excitement for life is, and how we all have that when we're younger. And then through whatever hardships or traumas that we experience in life, we then, that excitement fades, you know, or gets tainted, or we get traumatized, and instead of being excited, we're fearful or whatever, you know. That happens in life. So yeah, it's just nice to be getting a bit of my inner puppy energy back, to not feel frightened by just general life, and to begin feeling excited about things as well, in gratitude for the life that I get to wake up to and show up for. So yeah, that was kind of the philosophical, metaphorical reflection that I was having. Just feeling grateful that I feel at peace, and that I don't feel fearful for a very first time in a very long time. And then also just gaining awareness of wanting to tap into more joy and light-hearted excitement. But yeah, there's a lot going on now, so I'm gonna put my phone away. Here is some more dog park philosophy for you. So I brought 2 balls to the dog park. Just, you know, you might lose one, but then also just to rotate, throw one while we pick up the other one. But sometimes she gets a bit overexcited and she keeps the one ball in her mouth, and she wants me to throw the next ball, but she forgets or loses awareness of the fact that she's still got another ball in her mouth. And then, as much as I try to get her to understand, she won't let go of the first ball, and then I'll throw the other ball, and then she'll try to get it, and she can't because she's already got a ball in her mouth. And that just really speaks to me of needing to let go, because, you know, we might have one ball in our mouth now, but it's an old, dirty, stinky ball that's been to the dog park 100 million times, and it's kind of lost its bounce. And life might have a beautiful new squishy bouncy yellow ball in store for us, but if we refuse to let go of the stinky, dirty, old, tired ball because we've just lost sight of the bigger picture, life can't give us our new ball. So that's just another metaphor I reflected on today of letting go to make space. Check, here it is, it's happening. She's got a ball in her mouth. She can't fetch a ball with a ball in her mouth. Come here. Drop the ball. Hello. Hi. You have to drop that one. You have to drop that one. You can't. Look. She's trying to teach another ball with a ball in her mouth, she can't do anything. Case and point. Where's your ball, Debs?
Just tell you because you know you lost mom so quickly to bad health.
No, yeah, it's very nice to
So
actually
just to know
have an
your dad's
awareness
healthy,
of
you
how
know.
your health is doing, yeah.
Not trying to drive you mad or
No,
bad.
and we both appreciate it, and we both, oh, there's a charity shop there.
Oh.
Hello. So today I'm hanging out with my dad. We have like a pattern that we repeat. Every time I'm in Cape Town, we go charity store shopping, and then we go for coffee or lunch afterwards. It's a nice pattern that I like to repeat. I got this cute t-shirt. It says girl power in the Star Wars font. Yeah, so we just had a nice coffee together in Nurturk, and now he is fetching a client. So my dad he's an entrepreneur. He's got his own business called Collect and Carry. He does deliveries and like priority, like clearance level careering for like Old Mutual and a whole bunch of different companies. And then the other side of his business is he's an airport shuttle. Well, a shuttle, like basically Uber before Uber was a thing. If people want to drink, or if someone's child needs a lift, or if they need an airport shuttle, or those kinds of things, my dad is an Uber, but he doesn't work for Uber, he works for himself, and he's been doing it for like 20, almost like as old as I am, he's been doing it for like 25 years. So yeah, we're gonna take a client. Sometimes his clients don't mind if I hang out, so we're gonna take one of his clients to the airport now. Yeah, I gotta hang out with my dad while he works because he's a working man.
Knows them and loves them.
Yeah, they're hard workers.
Yeah, and they're heroes.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
They go amazing,
So seriously,
amazing.
crazy
They also
job.
there's some nice videos of them saving animals too.
Yes. So we're in Newlands. I haven't been here in so long. We're at Newlands Forest. I used to live in Mowbray, and I could walk here from my house. So I used to come to this. There was a point in my life, 2017, where for months and months and months I came to this forest every single day of my life. And it was such a beautiful part of my journey. Like, it was really when I just needed nature. I still do, but now I live in nature. But at that point I lived in the city, and I had to immerse myself in nature every day of my life for my sanity, and this forest really held me at that time. So keen to do a little explore. Yeah, I'm fine.
afterwards we set up advice for Sophie Dashel. And I wrote back in the kitchen and said, hey Mark, I appreciate the friendship. He said, I don't have many friends left. Me too.
Yeah, and it's been really long term. Yes. Have to like have that guard up.
And also, you know, what I appreciated about her was when we were going through a hard time, we went through our hard times together and we were there for each other, you know. And she's business now. You know, he sells parts to doctors who do surgery.
Yes.
And now,
Sweet
that was the
man.
dog we saw earlier.
Yeah.